said to you, did you know that all Bible prophecy has a modern day fulfillment in everything that I do? Oh yes, all my activities were prophesied in the Bible. The great Bible prophets of old had visions of Dubtown. They spoke of the Heavenly class, who would provide humour at the proper time. A Heavenly nation would be born in one day, and we would all live in Lego paradise. Well, you might be forgiven for thinking that I was a little bit bonkers. But what about if this man said it about himself and his friends?
Well, our spiritual paradise has a land. What is the land? The July 1st, 1995 Watchtower said, "It is the realm of activity granted to the newborn nation, a place where Bible prophecies have a modern spiritual fulfillment." So you get that? The realm of activity where the anointed fulfill Bible prophecies.
Not all about you, Stephen. Anyway, this week's Dubtown Dogma will focus on one Bible prophecy where these men do in fact provide a modern fulfillment. It's the prophecy of the last days, recorded in the Gospels. Here is a typical Sunday talk, and notice how they discuss these verses.
Mark chapter 13 and verse 1 says, as he was going out of the temple, one of the disciples said to him, so verse 3, as he was sitting on the Mount of Olives with the temple in view, Peter, James, John and Andrew asked him privately, tell us, when will these things be? And what will be the sign when all these things are to come to conclusion?
Now, Bible quiz time. Without looking, what was the first thing Jesus said in reply to this question? If your answer was, you're going to hear of wars and reports of wars, or nation will rise against nation, well, sorry, that's not right. If you've had years of JW indoctrination, it's easy to get this one wrong. And I would challenge you to ask any active JW what Jesus said first, and they would get it wrong. Why? Because the religion actively avoids discussing what Jesus says first. Notice how this fella handles it in his public talk.
They urgently wanted to know what the answer was to that question. When would we see the end of this system? So Jesus gave them the answer, and he used the answer to give them a twofold conclusion. A conclusion in the first century and in this time period that we're living in. Look at what he said in verse 8. Look at what he said in verse 8. He said, for nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in one place after another. There will also be food shortages. These are a beginning of pangs of distress.
Verse 8? What about verse 5 and verse 6? Did he forget to read those? No, he's following the instructions in his outline from the governing body. Notice in the outline it tells him to read verses 1 to 4. He did that. But then it says to read verse 8. They don't want him to read what Jesus said first in verses 5 and 6. Why not? Well, let's read what Jesus said in each of the Gospels. Verses 5 and 6. So Jesus began to tell them, look out that nobody misleads you. Many will come on the basis of my name saying I am he, and will mislead many. In Matthew's Gospel, in answer, Jesus said to them, look out that nobody misleads you, for many will come on the basis of my name saying I am the Christ, and will mislead many. And Luke's account is very telling. It says, look out that you are not misled, for many will come on the basis of my name saying, I am he, and the due time is near. Do not go after them. Now the Greek word for Christ is Christos, meaning anointed one. So technically Matthew 24 verse 5 reads, many will come on the basis of my name saying, I am the anointed one, and will mislead many. Yes, they will say the due time is near. Now, who does that remind you of? JW leaders love to say, we come on the basis of Jesus. We are the anointed one. Jesus picked us to lead you because the due time is near. Look at the search result on the Witch Tower Library. They actively avoid discussing these verses because they know that people would maybe figure out that they are being misled by false anointed ones proclaiming the end is soon for 100 years. That's all from Dubtown Dogma this week. Have a look out next week for a proper Dubtown episode with the theme of the prodigal daughter.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you like this one, go watch this one or try a binge watch here.